Welcome to Overrated, Underrated, where Brad, Brenton, Jeff and Rob rate some of the Premier League players. Make sure you're playing along, and the first player up is Jack Grealish. Overrated, underrated, or rated rightly?
I reckon he's rated about right.
Underrated.
He's appropriately rated.
It's a tough one because I think people are starting to see how good he actually is. So can't really say he's overrated because I personally think he's mustard, and I think the world is starting to see that he's mustard, and I want him at United bad. So I'd have to say that's about right. I think people are starting to understand how good he actually is.
Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, he's a good player. I'd say he's rated about right at the moment, yeah.
I know Arsenal fans rate him highly, but like outside Arsenal fans, I think he's underrated.
Maybe he could argue he's underrated, but I think people that know about football know that he's top drawer.
He's dragged the Arsenal team that are below standard into respectable status, or nearly respectable. Prime example, Europa League, a couple of assists, but the second one, pinpoint pass. Other young players might have gone for a safer pass, and he's taken his chances and ended up getting Arsenal the win. Underrated.
Wilfried Zaha.
See, he's a tough, you know.
I mean, he has been carrying Crystal Palace for years. He can be overrated. Very, very good player. I rate him. Don't know, like, why hasn't he got that move? Why is he not playing for a bigger club? I say overrated, I think.
Nah, I think I like him. Yeah, I think he's underrated, to be fair, because I think he's carrying Crystal Palace. I think he's class, I do.
I'd say he is, at the minute, form-wise, he's overrated. People expect more from him than that he can actually deliver. Overrated.
Yeah, I definitely think he's underrated. I think the amount of time he's been at Palace, he's the only reason why Crystal Palace in the Premier League.
Sergio Aguero.
He's mustard. He's top draw player, yeah. He's rated right. He's world class, he is, yeah.
I haven't seen him play properly in about 2 or 3 years, so I'm going to say appropriately rated.
I think Sergio Aguero is underrated because of like his injuries and stuff.
No, he's about right. I think everyone knows he's one of the best Prem strikers to ever be in the league. So,
Paul Pogba.
Oh, this is gonna split opinions. Paul Pogba he has the potential, if he's consistent, to be a world-class player. I'm not saying he's rubbish, but I'm saying he has an 8 out of 10 game, and then 3 sixes, and then an 8 out of 10, and then 3 sixes. For a world-class player or someone of that caliber, you need to be putting in more 8s and 9s. So appropriately rated.
one of my boys, overrated.
Yeah, overrated. He just turns up when he feels like it. Yeah, I do think he's overrated. I think people hype him up too much.
Okay, this is a hard one because obviously I'm a United fan, innit? So I would say he's underrated.
We've got 5 more to come, but don't forget to smash the like button, leave a comment to let these lot know if you agree with them or not, and finally, if you haven't already, subscribe. Right, next up, Kepa.
Kepa is overrated.
Yeah, he's no good whatsoever. I think he's I don't know. People rate him as crap, don't they? So I think that's about right.
He's terrible. I don't rate him at all, and I don't think the majority of people do. Chelsea fans hate him, and everyone else thinks he's toilet. So that's about right.
Me being a goalkeeper, I've got to stick to the union here. He is, if you're getting bought for 75 million, that is your rating. And he is overrated because he's not lived up to anything near that standard. Save percentage not good enough, doesn't command his area good enough, kicking's not good enough, 75 million, overrated.
Harry Maguire.
Overrated. No, he's overrated. I don't think he's a Man U player. No, overrated for me.
Overrated! 100% overrated.
Overrated. Hurts me to say that.
Overrated. He's not as good as the pundits make out.
Jamie Vardy.
Now he's levelled out to his ability. Good striker for the Premier League. Consistent. He'll get you 15 goals in the league. Appropriately rated.
I don't think he's underrated. I don't think he's overrated. I think that he's appropriately rated.
I think he's about right. Since Leicester won the league, I think he's been there or thereabouts.
Yeah, he's got to be one of the best strikers the Premier League's seen, especially for £1 million. So Yeah, he's rightly rated in my eyes. Yeah.
Jordan
See,
Henderson.
this one is a big one. There's a big divide when it comes to this. But for me personally, I think he's underrated. In the last year and a half, I've seen the stuff he's been doing. Like, and, you know, you're not captain for no reason. Like, you're not lifting Champions League for no reason. Like, you're not starting in that team. Like, no reason. So, underrated.
I gotta say he's overrated.
I used to think he was overrated, but over the last few years, I think he's underrated now.
I'm gonna say he's overrated, yeah. But the only reason I'm saying this is because the media have made him seem like he is a complete midfielder. He's a good engine. You can see he leads his team, but to say he's got like a complete midfielder's package, I don't think he does. So overrated.
Declan Rice.
I think he's about right. I think again, people know he's a top player. We're looking forward to seeing him with the likes of, well, you just mentioned, but like Maddison, Grealish in the Euros. It's going to be very exciting.
For me, I think he's overrated. Whenever I've watched him, I see a competent midfielder. He can drive with the ball half decent, but nothing blows me away.
I'm a West Ham fan, and I'm gonna say he's overrated. I think he's class, and I think he's gonna be world class, but people are raving about him too much, like they do with all the England players.
I say he's underrated. I think he's a good player, good young English player. He's talented and he works hard. And obviously he's at West Ham, like, if he was at a bigger club, he could showcase himself a lot more. And maybe because he's at West Ham, people don't really rate him as much as they should. So